YouTube is up. We've got
YouTube
this
is
will be
up.
the third episode to go up on YouTube. Residential Remix, Spotify, Residential Remix, Apple Podcasts, same Residential
I think that was
Remix.
pretty cool. I was like, what? I have an Apple? Eden's like, that's pretty cool. I was like, finally, she thinks I did something cool.
50 Cent didn't make it.
50 Cent didn't make it. Me DJing at 50 Cent's concert didn't make it, but I'm on Apple. That made it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 3 of the Residential Remix podcast. I am Dennis Stryker.
Derek in Fiesta.
And episode 3, you know what that means? That means you get to like, subscribe, thumbs up, drop a comment, and you've got over 2.5 hours of now our content to go back, look over, and absolutely fall in love with. So make sure you're doing all that stuff. I know it's tacky. We're going to say it every episode. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, give us a comment. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on his TikTok, do all of that great stuff because we're not going anywhere.
Do I have a TikTok? I do. I have a Tictok. I actually do have a TikTok.
Yeah, see?
There's a couple posts there.
There's some good ones.
There's some posts there.
There's some good ones.
You know the guy, the photographer that follows us around when we DJ?
Yeah.
We get that content from them and he posts. So it's
perfect.
good. It's good. Instagram. I actually started using Instagram again.
I'm so proud of you.
I thought it was the problem is Facebook. I'm just old, right? So I feel like anyone in the 80s, we still use Facebook. If I had a choice of using MySpace, I would still do it and have my top 8, buddy.
Okay. What was your profile song on MySpace the last time you logged in? Do you remember what it was?
I wish I can log in right now, man. Who knows?
I'd love to see it.
Dang it, man. Who knows? We had some custom profiles. I mean, music, the top 8. The best was like the who's on your top 8 or the girls.
Yeah.
Oh, why am I not on your top 8? Whoever was the flavor of the week at those points. That was before marriage, before the.
And God forbid somebody like just barely made the cut or didn't make the cut.
Top 16, wasn't it? Then you just expanded the set. I'm like, what are you talking about? You made the top list.
Exactly.
Those were good. Those were back in the day.
That was back when social media was normal and we didn't have to. I don't think we had to work so hard. Right? There wasn't much maintenance. You had a song of the week. You put the song on your profile. You picked your top 8, and then you changed your background.
Wasn't there a template that just changed the song?
Yeah.
I think you could put like a bunch of songs in there. It was an extension of like LimeWire somehow. Something I added in there that it did change the song.
It's been so long. I honestly, I can't.
No, half the people listening to this have no idea what we're talking about. They're like, "What? Seriously. What's MySpace?" It still exists. But I couldn't pull up my old profile. All that's gone. Pictures are gone. Man, there's probably some amazing DJ pictures in those times because I don't have them. Who knows where they're at? Some CD-ROM somewhere. Yes, I said that. Some floppy disk. Some floppy disk out there has a bunch of amazing pictures.
Tell me you're old without telling me you're old. I got a floppy disk of pictures from
floppy
MySpace.
Disk of pictures.
Oh my God. Did you get my notes for this week's episode? Are you ready? And prepared? No.
Do you prepare for podcasts?
I do, and apparently you don't because I've sent you the link to the note that has all of our
single time I've looked at these notes, bro. We come here to talk. You know what I know? I don't like podcasts that make it sound scripted. I feel like we just talk. This is a normal conversation that we have on the phone every day. We just talk.
I know. But
catch up what's going on. Yes, and you keep us in topic, and I just talk.
And if we don't set what we're going to talk about, we're going to go all over the place.
That's okay.
All right. Well, then fine. Let's just talk. How about the pictures I sent you of that house on Zillow Gone Wild, of the bar wall?
Dude, incredible. It gives you goals.
It does.
Some of the time, I feel like you said that before, is that you love looking at cool pictures and houses and gives you ideas. Yep. I love looking at cool pictures and be like, how can I do that? Oh, just not yet. Can't afford it yet.
And it's cool.
Like
it's cool to look at, but it's a little tacky. I don't think I would ever do it.
Not that much, but enough. Like my next goal is to build a bar at the house. You built my first bar.
I did.
The first bar.
We built it together.
We built it together. I did. I held it up as you hammered away.
You burnt it. You brought the torch out there.
What?
And started
I did my. You brought what it was? Your Ryobi.
Yeah, shut up, man.
Your Ryobi tools.
It's still kicking. That bright green. You can't lose it.
That green. Got the warranty. So we built the bar. So I want to build another one at the house, but I want to build it to match the kitchen and the cabinets and the island. So I want to do something a little more like built in. We have a massive wall that has nothing on it. When we remodeled the house, it was I didn't think the house was that big till I thought it was that big until we ripped all the walls out and we started expanding to make a big, an open floor plan. And when we did that, it was too much house almost. I'm like, dang, I don't know what to do. I started running out of furniture. My walls are still blank.
But that's great for the Halloween party because you didn't have to move anything. You had like the Game of Thrones chair set up for photos.
I think we're doing it again. I don't know what to do anymore. We have so much decor. Like, I don't know what to put in my house anymore. And this started, I tell you how this Halloween party started.
No, tell me.
And I don't want to like put anyone out there, but my best friend, one of my best friends, Alir, his wife, Natalia, which happens to be cousin with my wife, they said, hey, we're going to host Halloween one year. And I said, all right. So we got dressed. I mean, we bought like, we usually go pretty out. Not as far as you go because you OD the dress up.
Shut up.
But we dressed up. We got to the house. And it was just like walking in like a normal Friday or Saturday night. I say there was a little like mantel, a little like placemat, on the counter that said Happy Halloween, and it was like make your drinks. So now I'm like, all right, some Halloween cookies. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Just spent like $300 on his outfit, and this is what we're doing right now. So
Publix cookies.
Publix cookies. So since then, sorry Natalia, I really apologize, but I'm throwing you under the bus right now. Because since then, I've created a monster. Because now I'm throwing a party at my house. And it's over the top. It's, drape the whole house, decoration, video walls. It's like every piece of equipment I own, we create it all, inside, outside. The neighbors love me.
And in typical us fashion, we have to outdo last year's. And I say you send me pictures of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's going to work great.
My pirate ship, the whole house was a pirate ship last year. The whole house.
The inflatable one by the pool was insane.
Big old inflatable pirate ship. Then we had stuff hanging from the ceilings, pirate, and it was pretty insane.
Do you remember we were sending pictures back and forth of like people made custom pirate ships out of like pallets and wood?
We tried, I know, and we didn't have time.
We thought about that for a minute. That was a terrible idea.
I tried to do dry ice, and we had an explosion of dry
Oh
ice.
my God.
So I got the dry ice machine, and unfortunately, it was like the basket was down. I tossed the dry ice, and it just blew up. The whole house just filled with smoke. And good thing I take off all the smoke detectors, but it was like, where'd everybody go? And I was like, yeah, this was a bad idea. And so we 86 of the dry ice.
We'll try it again this year.
Maybe like the problem is too many fans. I put fans everywhere, keep everyone cool. But it was definitely looking forward to another event this year. And then Horror Nights is coming up. So that's always fun. October's the month. We already talked about this, not to bring it up again.
We're just going to change it to, it's not going to be October anymore. Now it's just Reflex's month.
Reflex's birthday month. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to change the month, the whole day.
I do love the theme for this year's Halloween party, though. I really like it.
What are you going to be?
I can't tell you. My wife will murder me if I actually tell you before we show up.
Okay, so how many times do you go to parties or Halloween parties and you're dressed like the other couple? Like, why not take that chance? Why not just say, like, I'm coming as so-and-so, so no one else take my idea? Because
what I'd rather do is I'd rather come up with something creative that nobody's going to think. I mean, I think last year, right? Your theme was pirates.
Okay.
And Megan and I came. She was dressed as a mermaid, and I was a fisherman.
Okay. Yeah, you went outside the box?
Right, outside of the box. Yep. Nobody's ever going to come up with something like that. Just like.
So are you planning on doing something the same? Are you outside of the box right now?
We are going to go with a movie that. Actually, what is the theme for this year's Halloween party?
Night at the Movies. We're making it real blank roll. So everyone was like, oh, it's just pirates or something, or just doing like a neon party. So we did Night at the Movies.
Night at the Movies.
Opens up the category to everything.
That's it. So, and when we started thinking about what movie, we wanted to go with something kind of well-known, but it wasn't going to be the first thing you thought of when you thought of Night at the Movies and a Halloween party. So it's not going to be like a scary movie. It might not even be, I don't know. It's either gonna be.
I'm gonna get it out of you. I was trying to see if you'd slip.
I know.
I was trying to see if you were gonna slip.
Megan actually liked and subscribed to the channel, so she's watching.
That's why he's not saying. And guys, every time it's like the biggest secret.
I know.
Last year she got mad because I changed the theme at the last minute.
We had such a good one last year.
I was trying to Jedi mind trick. I was like, yeah, you're not gonna be better than me. Watch this.
No, we had a good one last year, but It ended up being great. Everybody's costume. Your wife did the parrot, which I thought was
cool,
incredible. And yeah, everybody really showed up. And that's the cool thing about your parties, right? Is because everybody gets involved. It's not just
it's mandatory to dress up.
You have to.
It's mandatory to dress up. It's a thing. Don't be coming to my house and not dressed up.
And I think if I can find the picture, I'm gonna put it up of Julian at one of, I think it was 2 years ago. Yes. Epic costume.
Se lo comió, bro. He dressed. He crushed it. He crushed it. It was the best Elvis impersonation I've ever seen anyone do. Incredible. I have it it should be on my Facebook. Somebody find it and post it at the bottom of this.
Yeah.
It is an incredible picture. And I think his wife did Marilyn Monroe.
I think so.
Marilyn Monroe.
I think so.
Yeah, we did. I think that was a year. I forget what I did that year.
You did Pimps and Hoes.
We did Pimps and Hoes.
Pimps and Hoes.
That was the Pimps and Hoe party. Yeah.
I mean, Elvis is one of the original pimps. Let's be honest. It was good.
Bro, that was a good time. That was a good time. Music this week came out. I don't know why I'm obsessed with Beltran again. It's the Bossy. So last week we did Push It.
Yep.
And then again, another old track redone. And I was listening to a couple Clooney sets in the gym. Clooney's one of my favorites as well to listen to. Sure. The guy crushes it. And then Beltran's song came up, and I'm like, what is this monster? And then when I Googled the track, and it's the new Beltran Vintage Culture Bossy.
Yep.
That is my new track of the week. That is added to the auto playlist. Definitely. That thing is grimy.
I said it in the group text. The bass line is just so spicy. And again, keeping with the original sample, and you still have that really cool, high pitched. Yeah. It's just a great remix.
What you got going on this weekend?
This weekend we have an event at the Meyer Amphitheater. It's called Rainbow Palooza, and it's a kids festival. It is put on by Rhythm and Hues, which is a big children's foundation down in downtown West Palm. They're putting on just kind of a day to celebrate, the kids of South Florida. They're going to have some bounce houses out there, some DJs. We're going to provide the audio and maybe some of the visual components.
Bringing out the line arrays.
Yeah, man, it's going to be, and anytime we can be on the amphitheater stage, makes me feel a little bit like a big deal. We get out there. I always like a stage.
I feel you.
I'm all about a stage. So we'll be out there all day on Saturday from 12 to 8. And then
I've got a wedding in Spazio. Obviously, it's a club. Everyone loves plays house music in there. So a client rented it out for a couple hours, and so I'm starting there on our event in the morning, daytime setup, leaving, headed to the hotel, shower change, go DJ this event, and then I'll probably end up just downtown hanging out that night.
I love how you try to say I'll probably I'm
going to be there, Lewis. I'll be there. We'll be at Banco.
Likely,
we'll be at Banco. I DJ'd last week downtown.
Yeah,
I haven't DJ'd downtown. I don't even know the last club I DJ'd downtown.
It was 4.
4? You know what? I take it back. We talked about that. It was 4. 4, but 4 is different.
That's at least been a year though.
Solid year since 4. 4 was fun because it's all house music.
Yep.
A tiny bit of hip hop. It's kind of like our dare sets. We throw a little bit of hip hop just to kind of reset the club, let them go to the bar, come back, right? That's always been, I think, for me is, manipulating the dance floor and getting people to the bar, resetting the crowd. That's the signs of a great, and I've learned that from great DJs, just to see the crowd just shift, right? Yep. So you see everyone go, oh, that's my track. And they go out to the dance floor and everyone kind of takes a break. There's only so much to me house music, especially a lot of sometimes EDM kind of hits that we play, the top 40 stuff and the West Palm clubs versus underground stuff you can play in Miami. You can play a Clooney set all day. No one move. Everyone's just da, 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 da. But then you come down here, it's a different kind of style. This was the old pawn shop for me, the old Monkey Club. Remember, I DJ'd that same building when it was Monkey Club. I think I was like 18 years old playing there. There was a lot of in the biz people who will remember those times as well. Right. And Jeff was still bartending there. I was like, what up, dog? To see someone like the old school clan still there.
He's always at the same bar.
Staple, boy. Jeff, love you, man, place. Back there.
Incredible.
And then we ended up playing. Sal had called and said, hey, I need you to help me out, cover the night. And it was fun. It was different because it's such a different group of people that you're just not used to. I don't play, 4 anymore.
Yeah.
So it was fun to play. I think that the staff was, really happy. The break of the norm, and just hearing music that you don't normally hear, especially in West Palm, because we play completely different than, most DJs, especially bringing that down south Latin, flavor that we have, playing that, there and bringing it here was just, obviously completely night and day different. So it was fun. I had a good time downtown.
It also gives you the chance to try out some new stuff that you've downloaded recently and play it for a different crowd to see what the reaction is, see if it's going to actually work.
Will it work? I had called Alex and I said, hey, where should I play? I haven't played on here in a year. He's like, I don't know, play a bunch of hip hop. Don't play that old remix shit. But you know what I did? I played the old remix shit.
Of course.
I took the clarity and dropped it with something new today, and everyone knew the songs, right? I did that day. I love playing the sing-alongs. That's why I love the Fisher set over, because Fisher, when he plays, and especially a top 40 set, it is sing-along. Every single song, you can sing to it. And I want people to have that experience. So I try to stay the same, man. That's just my thing.
That's cool. I mean, look, I wanted to come out. I really did. My daughter...
duties.
Well, I had wife was out in New Orleans seeing one of her favorite reality TV stars, and I was home with the baby, and Sophia had homecoming weekend. So we had the homecoming game Friday night. She had the homecoming dance Saturday. It was daddy taxi duty, and I just watched from afar. It was fun, It's tough. Now this is my second daughter in high school, going through the motions of, the first dance and the first football game, and it's inevitable she's going to have the first boyfriend, and I'm dealing with it. Second time is easier.
Okay.
You've got two daughters. You've got, it's going to be one. I
dropped mine off at a football game as well.
See, but it was good. She had a blast. Of course, she came home complaining about the DJ.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, who was it? She's like, I have no idea.
I'm afraid to offer my services to some of these schools that our kids play at, because is it cool? Like, would it be cool if I DJ'd my daughter's homecoming game?
Michaela, my oldest, she brought it up a couple times. She said, why don't you DJ our prom? And I said, baby, I would love to, but wouldn't you think that was weird? And she's like, no, absolutely not. And I don't think Sophia would think it was weird either. She's been out and she's seen me at some of the bigger events too. I think she would love it. Denny, I know for a fact he would love to have us DJing all of his stuff. No question about it.
Funnier story is Mila goes up to one of her classmates, and I heard this, through obviously the third party, but Mila goes to the classmates and goes, my dad DJs for 50 Cent. I started dying.
That's it,
because
Mila
go to, and again, she's 10. She goes up to one of her classmates who probably don't know who the heck 50 Cent is. My dad DJs for 50 Cent.
Yeah.
So she thinks that's the coolest thing. So maybe Mila might think, but Eden was like, big deal. I don't think she doesn't think. I think it's not a cool thing for me and for Eden. Mila thinks it's pretty cool. Damn cool. I don't know.
I think it's cool.
I think it's pretty damn awesome.
My kids thought it was cool too. I told them. I showed them the pictures. They saw the video.
Thought it was cool.
Heck yeah.
50 Cent.
Same reason I brought him to the Orange Bowl with me last year. Denny got a picture with Dan Marino. They were up on stage watching Nico Moon, and we got to go into the game. I mean, these are the benefits of being at the level that we are, doing the events that we do, so that we can kind of throw around a little clout.
Yeah.
We want to be our kids' heroes no matter what.
I wanted to be a fly on the wall to hear that, though. Like, I don't know how she delivered it, but basically, Letitia's like, when they came, when I finally got the story, it was, I'm sure it wasn't perfect. How cool would it be if your kid just be like, yeah, my dad's a DJ. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was cool. I wish my dad was a DJ.
It's better than them saying my dad's a realtor.
I guess. I don't know. Like, or mortgage guy.
Switching over to real estate. I mean,
I guess we'll take a break.
Today we were getting some news in the market, right? I think they're supposed to be announcing something with some rates and some changes. I mean,
I get real nervous when it comes to announcements, when it comes to anything, rates, money, because today they'll make an announcement and say, we're going to be lowering the rate. Now, effectively, lowering the rate should lower our treasury bond, all that stuff, so it coincide together. But then you follows up for 2 days later with a job report or right. And then it just contradicts everything that we just did, and then rates just completely skyrocket again. So anytime before one of these announcements, you'll see the rates either take a quick dip or increase quickly. So it's always scary. I never like to say, hey guys, lock your rates today, or hey guys, we're going to have this, these rates are coming, think it just automatically lower your interest rate. But again, two different things, two different rates that they're really dropping. But the interest rates when it comes to mortgages, those get affected with a treasury bond.
I think it is safe to say, though, within the last couple weeks, we've seen a little bit of a trickle down.
Yeah.
It's starting to get a little bit reasonable, more reasonable. Again, we're not telling you that now's the time to buy or lock your rates or refinance or anything like that, but it's promising to see movement in a more positive direction.
It really is. And it's nice because the leads come in, right? So you get people see it on the news. So typically we have a slow month in September, almost like nightclubs. It's like the slow club month, right?
Slowest month. Yep.
And slowest month. So if you've had people at your venue in September, you guys are killing it. When it comes to mortgages, I feel like it's the same thing. People are, they're worried about school and their kids and their family. People, so that kind of gets your refinances out of mind. I get busier in the winter time now because people are either refinancing or pulling cash out of their homes in order to make big purchases for the holidays, travel, things like that. So as we prepare and we see the market, I said that someone is going to look like a superstar.
Yeah.
So again, I don't care which way you guys vote. We're not talking about politics here.
Nope, not a bit.
But depending on either politician is going to want to look like a superstar. So someone's going to drop the rates. Whoever either takes the win or the same price. One of the two is going to feel like a superstar. At the end of the day, rates will drop and then you will see a refi boom. And I can't wait for the refi boom. We're prepared for it. We're ready to go.
Yep.
We have staff for it. And I'm hoping to see rates drop into the 5s. They're never going to be at 3 and 4%. I think, again, we're never going to see that. So if you're at home right now and you're listening to this and you're waiting for those 3% days, get off your couch.
Yeah.
It is not coming. I think rates are comfortably going to be in the 5s. I think they should sit in the 5s. And those were affordable mortgage payments. I still can qualify people.
Right.
It is hard to qualify someone at 8%, 7%, a lot easier at 5. And I don't think they're going to be in the 4s, but I think 5.
I think I saw something today that showed the difference between a $400,000 purchase at a 7.5% interest rate and a 6% interest rate.
Yep.
And it was somewhere around like a $400 difference.
It's a difference, man. It's a big enough difference. A car payment for some people.
Yeah, absolutely.
A car payment, it's a bill, it's an electricity bill, but it's enough money. It's groceries.
Yeah.
So if I always tell people, if you see rates come down about 2% from where you're at, refinance your house.
Yep.
The problem is I have people at 8% right now, and I don't know if I should refinance them because I could get them in the 6s. But why refinance when those people? I'm like, can you wait?
I told the guy
Can you
yesterday.
hold off?
I told the guy yesterday.
Give it to November. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And if rates drop, and again, depending if the current guy says yes or a new guy says let's change him and drop it, someone's gonna look like the rock star. Let's wait and see what happens. It ain't gonna go to 9%.
No, the same way it's not going to go to 3, it's not going to go to 9. We're going to start to see some little comfort spaces in the interest rates, and people are going to be a little bit more enticed to go out and buy, a little bit more enticed to refinance. And like you said, it's just it's going to be inevitable.
I think it's going to trickle down. You're going to see rates. You're going to see rates come down, payments come down. I think rent will come down with it. So if your dreams and aspirations are home ownership, and you can qualify for that house now and you can afford the payment, even if it's for the next 6 months, I would say get off the couch, get off that fence.
Absolutely.
Go buy now because you can always refinance. You're not married to the rate. Buy the house you love.
Yeah, that's right.
And right now I see a lot of my deals have some kind of credit right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's a lot of that has to do with the changes in the new National Association of Realtors, their rules and regulations when it comes to commissions, which is going to be a topic for a different podcast because it really is. There are so many new things that went into place last month that kind of changed the way people buy and sell houses. So a lot of those concessions that you're seeing right now are based around the whole commission structure and how agents get paid. But because home prices are still reasonable right now, that's why it's now is probably a really good time if you can afford it to buy the house because rates.
I think it's a great time. Rates can change. If rates go down, again, you can refinance.
Yep.
So just to throw a little bit of thing out there, if you can refinance as quick as 6 months, rate and term.
Okay.
So if you just want to change your interest rate, not that you pull cash out of your house, if you just want to change it, we can do it in 6 months. And if you want to pull cash out of your property, it takes a year.
Okay.
There are some HELOC programs. There are some lenders that will enable you to take a HELOC out the next day if you have a ton of equity in the house for some reason. There are companies or stipulations to that as well. But a standard refinance within 6 months. Okay. So if you buy a house and the rate is 7% and it drops to 5 in 6 months, refinance.
Awesome.
Yes, there is a cost to refinance, but your savings to that cost usually will outweigh.
And that's why you use kind of like that 2% gauge, because at that point you're saving enough to justify spending the money on the refinance, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it goes always in twos. One is, that's questionable. 1% and paying off debt.
Got it.
Great.
Okay.
If you can save 1%, but you're paying off $20,000 in credit card at 30%, let's rock. Let's do it.
That makes sense.
You're going to save hundreds of dollars a month. But if you're just saying, I don't have any debt and I want to refinance my house to get a lower interest rate, I would wait to about 2% difference, because that's going to make an impact on your payment enough to justify the cost.
Got it. Got it. Now, after we've talked about all of this with the potential rate changes and things like that, and how home affordability right now is at a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the big questions that we got before we started this podcast is what do I need to do to start preparing myself to buy a house? I mean, what's the first thing? Because coming to me and looking for a house or sitting at home on the couch scrolling through Zillow is probably not the best place to start.
It's not.
I mean, let's know your budget first. So where are people going to start?
So I hate to, I kind of mentioned it a little bit last podcast, but the biggest thing is, one, just make sure your credit's decent.
Yeah.
Credit, again, we can put you in a program that qualifies your credit. The biggest thing is down payment. Start saving money.
Yep.
Hometown Heroes just released yesterday. Now, what's the date on yesterday? Because remember, this podcast is behind a little bit.
We're behind a week.
So yesterday was the 17th of September. They came out with $3 million, right? They put another $3 million.
Cool.
So what's happening with Hometown Home Heroes is, as those programs expire or the funds become available again, because if I was under contract for your house and then something happened in the contract, but I had a reservation for $25,000 in Hometown Heroes, that dropped. Now that money goes back into a bucket, and those funds become available every about 2 weeks. They did it last time the Hometown Heroes program was out, and every about 2 weeks they release another bundle of funds, and those usually come in a couple $1 million.
Okay.
And it runs out quick, because if you have a current contract right now, we're flipping this thing to Hometown Heroes to help you out. Hometown Heroes is not free money. Hometown Heroes is a second mortgage on your home, people. So if you buy a home, and I'm going to tell you this right now, if you buy a home and you're using your down payment assistance program, we call it DPA, you have to pay that off to refinance. You can't refinance. So if you lock at 8% and rates drop to 6%, you got to pay back that $25,000
right
prior to refinancing your house. There is no rate and term refinance. You can't just lower your rate.
Which I don't think they actually publicize that information enough, because even I, and you're my best friend,
I tell everybody.
I had no idea. When you see those flyers and every mortgage company puts them out, that doesn't specify that, hey guys, this is technically a second loan, right? It's a second mortgage. It ends up being almost a first mortgage, because you've got to pay it off before you do anything.
There's no payment attached to it. So that's the tricky part, because most people they're like, oh, but there's no payment, or no, I don't owe money because there's no payment attached to it, because they're used to paying a credit card.
Yeah.
But there's no payment, which is great. It's at 0%. It's in the back. If you're going to stay there for 5 years, but you can't be worried about now refinancing your ROTs, because you have to have the equity to do so. They're lending you essentially, 100% of your financing. So be leery. Now, the program worked. That's a great program.
It does, yeah.
I've got a lot of people in houses, but you can't 6 months down the road call me for a refinance, because unless you magically have enough equity in your home, which most likely you don't, because we're not putting 20% down.
Right.
You're coming to the table with some barely closing costs. You're just not going to be in that position. But if, again, your goal is to own a home and you need that down payment assistance to get you there, that's a great point. So it's finances. Get your finances together is always number one. Make sure you either have a down payment. If somebody's giving you a gift, get the gift. A couple of things that people don't know: you can take money out of your 401k.
No penalty, right?
There's no penalty to buy your primary residence to take money out. So if you have a company, and our company offers it as well, if you have a 401k, you can borrow that money, take that money out, and use that towards a down payment, which is amazing.
And you and I have had this conversation, and I think in certain situations, when you're comparing Hometown Heroes to a 401k that you've spent a few years investing in, if you can pull money out of that 401k versus looking at the Hometown Heroes program and taking money from there, it tends to be a better situation for some people.
I've done the numbers. I've done the numbers. I've showed people on paper you have, and it's not again free money, but a lot of times it's matching, right? So a lot of time your employer matches. You can just call your 401k company and ask them, how much money do I have in my 401k and what is available for me to use to purchase a home? They're going to tell you, and they're going to say, we're going to give you this money and it's going to look like this, and 20 grand, whatever it is. But that's money you've already invested in yourself. Take that money out, go buy a home.
And not to give financial advice, but I would like to think that the appreciation of a 401k versus the appreciation in equity on a home, it might be pretty damn close. The money that you leave in a 401k.
And it depends on the market you're in. But
true.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's a hard comparison, but you still got to pay this money back. That 25 grand.
Yeah.
We're still paying that back.
Hometown
Even
heroes,
if we do, we offer 100% financing program, and that program is still the same thing. You got to pay that second loan.
Yep.
So biggest thing for me, if you're going to prepare to buy a home, start putting your finances together, start putting money together. Don't carry a lot of debt.
No, that's for sure.
Don't carry a lot of debt. If you have $1,000 car payment, it's going to be hard. You know, you can't, without big car payments, boat payments. Sometimes I do loans for individuals who make great money and they just have great toys.
Yeah.
They just have a lot of toys. Yeah. I don't want to.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with toys. There's nothing, have some fun toys. You're good, but it's hard to qualify individuals who have an amazing boat or have, off-road vehicles, and they have all this cool. I mean, I love it. I'm all into it. Having myself, but it's hard to qualify to do that. So the revolving debt or big loans, student loans crush people, and just make sure your finances are together. If you're self-employed, pay your vehicles out of your business.
When you say pay it from your company, does that just mean pay it from my business bank account?
Out of your business bank account, correct.
Okay.
You have your personal and your business, right? So whatever your business bank account is, needs to go ahead and pay your vehicle, pay your boat, pay your whatever your extras, because you should be using that for your business anyways. So when we had a boat, I threw my company name on it, and we threw a massive sound system on it because we promoted our business through the boat, through the jet ski, through the trailers, through everything that we have. It all gets paid out of my business, my vehicles. Everything gets paid out of the business because the business is, we use these products or we use these vehicles or we use this stuff for our business. So they should be paid out of the business. Now, when you do a loan and I pull your credit, when it just says your $1,000 GMC payment for your truck, that payment sees that it's coming out of my business, and I can prove for the last year I've been making that payment. That debt is now the business's debt. It's not my personal debt anymore, and that doesn't count against my debt-to-income ratio to qualify for my loan.
Damn, that's good to know. That's good to know. And you just said debt to income ratio. I want to make sure everybody knows in the industry or in this, you're going to hear the term DTI or debt to income ratio. And those are both the same thing. It just means how much you owe versus how much you make. You need what, 12 months?
12 months. It has to be 12 months. And I ran into the problem where I had a client buy a car, change the car, and then started paying a new car. Then it doesn't matter. It's the new car payment. It's the new payment. Even though you've been paying all the way through, the new car has to continue paying out of the business, and it has to be 12 months of the new car. 12 months. So everything's 12 months on that particular payment. Same thing if your mom or dad paid your car. I need to know, if you can show me 12 months of that payment, same thing, I can take it off your debt.
Cool. Let's see. We're giving
good to know.
We're giving extra info.
Tricks of the trade.
Put that in your pocket. Save it for later. I like that. So
tricks of the trade.
Getting your income, getting your debt
settled out.
Those numbers.
Get your income. Those are the two most important parts. Credit we always have a spot for, but if you're paying your stuff off, your credit score should be decent. But yeah, those are the two main things to focus on. It's just getting your debts situated and having some kind of down payment. If you're self-employed, have your accountant ready to go. We're going to need letters. So there's a lot of things that a loan officer should coach you on, regardless of, again, if it's me or not. Hopefully everyone's using a Striker and I, but if you're not, there are definitely some things you need to worry about and get yourself ready to go.
And we're not here to make it sound like it's a scary process, but it is a process nonetheless. And there are going to be questions that Derek asks you that are just going to be their personal questions, How much do you make? That's not something you're going to go to the bar and talk to the normal person
No,
about.
Understand this is all confidential, and it's against our license. It's against your license and my license.
secure.
A lot of rules. A lot of rules in our financial, keeping stuff on lock and key 100%. Everything has to be in my filing cabinet locked at the end of the night.
Right.
So that's why I try not to keep too much of your personal information. If you give me something, I scan it, goes in our secure server, and I shred it because we're not allowed to keep it.
No.
Not to change topics, but this is kind of the whole thing. We go back and forth because I don't want to bore people with mortgage stuff. And if you want to skip all the mortgage stuff and go straight to music, we go usually beginning, middle, mortgage, and the end. It's like a sandwich, right? We put it together. I ran into a couple things, and it's like almost like a pet peeve of mine. I have people who post constantly looking for a DJ, looking for someone. Mother effer. You were just at my venue. You just text me to let you in a nightclub or put you on a guest list.
Yep.
You just asked me for music or you just did something. And did you really just post?
Yeah.
Need a freaking DJ? I want to lose my shit.
And that's why we try to stay top of mind in both industries. We want you to think of us when you start looking to buy a house. We want you to think of us when you start thinking about having that housewarming party or your wedding's coming up or your daughter's wedding's coming up.
Close on your house and DJ. What?
But how do you you know us.
Come on.
And then you go on something like Facebook and say, looking for a DJ.
Looking for a DJ for a friend's wedding or looking for a house party.
One step left. I'll take
All right, go ahead.
Because
this is like a topic for me. This is like a thing.
When somebody posts on Facebook looking for a DJ and there are 100 or 200 comments tagging a bunch of DJs, do you even go on and tag yourself on those?
I've seen you do it a couple of times, but I stopped doing it. Yeah. So power parties, Big Will, I love that guy down south. We always have this funny thing we say to each other. We're like, stay in your freaking zone.
Yeah.
Do not come into Palm Beach County. I won't stay in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. I've used him countless times. When I go down there, and I refer him to everybody down south because Fort Lauderdale and Miami to me is like a nightmare. I pull a trailer. We have a Suburban, but when I had a truck or whatever, but when I DJ, I pull a trailer. Nothing's better than rolling my shit out.
That's it.
Rolling it back in, closing the gate, and leaving. I want to go in and out of these venues quickly. So I have a trailer. Not everyone accommodates trailers in that area. So I do refer people, or I pay companies to set up for me and show up.
Yeah.
And he's referred me to a lot of people, but that's kind of my thing. But when I see everyone's posting and posting, I've actually gotten weddings bantering with people sometimes just for fun on there. They're like, oh, you're a DJ too? Were you talking?
Yeah.
And I'll throw a sideball for fun sometimes. But that is something I don't like to do. But even bartenders, I've seen people in the biz who know us, love us, but then I'm looking for a DJ.
You know what that usually means? They're looking for the lowest price.
Do we charge too much? I don't think so. I've done my research.
Yeah, so have I.
I've called, and I'm going to be real with everybody. I've called everybody from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca. We've called everybody. Don't think I didn't cold call you and be like, hi, I'm looking to get married. No, I've done that. I know what you're charging. I think we come a fair value. I think there's a point of quality. I
think we are a fair price for a
fair
higher
price
value
for high value quality. We have a lot of cool stuff. We've DJed a lot of great venues. I DJ. I think where I play at and what I've played at should put me in the upper echelon of some of this pricing. Are we charging $20,000 a DJ? No. It could get there with some of the shit we can add, but I just make the phone call sometimes. If maybe people don't think that we only DJ at nightclubs, but I think we post enough crap to show that we do private events.
Yeah, we do.
I think you'd be surprised. Sometimes you couldn't, the little parties that we'll do. If not, we'll find someone to do it for you and at least keep the quality up there. But I think it's just hilarious when I see people just looking for a DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you are. Piss me off.
Best of luck to you.
Best of luck to you.
My favorite comment is I'll put on there. It looks like you have plenty of options to choose from. If by some crazy chance you get through 127 comments and you still have a question, here's a link to my website.
You know what? That's awesome. That's awesome.
Because it kind of pokes fun on the fact that everybody and their brother is a DJ. We know that. There's so many DJs.
I've never noticed there's so many DJs in Palm Beach County.
So many. Oh my God.
There are so many. And I call the main people that I just I see the presence online.
Yeah.
And even a subcontract would work to some of the guys.
Oh, yeah.
But man, when they start tagging people, And then I start going into the pictures because then I start being like me. You know what I mean? I start looking. I'm like, what's he offering? What's he got?
Setup.
What's janky ass setup? But then I see some of the pricing and I'm like, why? You just got beat out, didn't you? Or Chris, somebody just called me and said, oh, I know who it was. I got a phone call and said, look at this guy's website. He's charging $8.95 for like a 10-hour DJ set or something with lighting and road. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's like the amount of hours and the amount of costs and the amount of money that we have in equipment just doesn't justify some of these prices.
If the price is, and this goes for anything, not just DJing, entertainment or anything. If the price difference is significant, there's usually a reason. Either you're going to lose in quality, you're going to lose in experience, or something is wrong. Something's wrong.
Facts. It's just like you're getting married, and hopefully you only get married once, right? Hopefully. So spend a little money. Why do you spend more money on your cake than you do your DJ? Guy, we got to understand, this is our first time doing podcasts. This is like, we don't know what we're doing. We're just putting this crap together.
I know. And when we're DJing and we're talking on the microphone, we have everything in front of us. We can hear the levels. Like, I have no idea what this sounds like.
The pictures are blurry. Sorry if we have blurry film. If the pictures, sometimes you'll see some cuts in the edit. We're not professionals. We're just having fun, guys.
Don't care.
We're just having fun.
And I told you I wanted to perfect one version of doing this, one way of recording everything, and then we can start adding on. But I think, I didn't listen to myself. I've got 3 cameras set up over here. I'm going to mess something up, but
we tried to do the multiple cameras. We went with 1 camera. The second episode, 3 cameras. Yeah. Now we're back to 3 again.
We're back to 3 again.
I
don't even know if they're recording.
We don't even know if this is really working. How this is going to edit, who knows? You might find the audio versions of our episodes come out and then not the video because it was just didn't work out for us. Listen, there's a growing pains on the broadcast.
That's right.
So bear with us. We are on Apple.
We are on Apple Podcast,
Residential Remix, Spotify. So I don't have Spotify.
Neither do I.
I feel like I should download it because we are on Spotify. So what are YouTube? We just got our YouTube.
YouTube is up. We've got this will be the 3rd episode to go up on YouTube. Residential Remix, Spotify, Residential Remix, Apple Podcasts, same Residential.
I think that was pretty cool. I was like, what? I have an Apple. Eden's like, that's pretty cool. I was like, finally, she thinks I did something cool.
50 Cent didn't make it.
50 Cent didn't make it. Me DJing at 50 Cent's concert didn't make it, but I'm on Apple. That made it.
Damn.
That made it.
You know what? I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we did this.
I appreciate everyone tuning in for another episode.
That's right.
Episode 3, out soon. Whenever we get around to editing this,
it'll be there eventually.
It'll be here, I promise. And Chris, I hope I had more bass in my voice because I talked into a mic because he did complain that it was too low. So hopefully the mic worked out better this time.
Look, we got the new mixer over here.
What?
I'm gonna go ahead and test it out. Hold on.
We got sound effects. We don't know if this is working because we can't hear any of this.
I think it's on the main mix.
It's on the
all kinds of fancy stuff.
We got some fancy stuff now. We're upgrading. Next week, I'm going to bring the Shure mics. Next week, we're going Shure. I ordered the Shure mics. So slowly upgrade. Yeah. Anyone wants to donate? I mean, we can use more donations. No, we're kidding, guys.
Rafi's been podcasting for almost 2 years now. So I called him and I was picking his brains, and he's like, "Just get the other mics. Just get the other microphones." He said, "Get the podcast, the Rode podcast mixer, and don't try to cut corners." Click the follow, click the subscribe, follow him on Instagram.
I'm using it, I promise. I'm using it.
He's doing it. Follow me at Striker the Realtor. Follow us both at Residential Remix, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.